who's back?
Yeah. All right.
Back again.
That's the fun part about doing this in person. No editing. All right. So where were we? All right, Frank.
We were talking about how you agreed with me on Drake May
Yes.
and
Because when you start talking millions,
yeah.
when you start talking millions, and like, oh, the fans are upset. Like this guy should stay close to the league. Man, when you throw the word million, that's like generation changing money, right? Like you just change the entire landscape of your family with that decision.
Well, and it's maybe $1 million today isn't what it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but it's still
A
$1 million.
million dollars.
And when you're talking multiple millions of dollars, and you're talking about lifespan and career of opportunity to make money, you have a small window,
That's right.
and you have to maximize that amount of time if you're going to make the most amount of money. So, that's important. It gives us the opportunity to use our skills and our things that we've been blessed with. Our ability to go out there and impact other people. And I think that all these guys are wanting to be able to do that. Dad's money's not my money.
That's right.
Dad's money's his dad's money's, and eventually it might be if he decides that, but it's his money. He made it. I don't own that money, so I have to go out there and provide for my family, my future, my friends, my kids, and that's the reason why each person is going to be an individual decision.
That's right. Well, either way, I mean, when you start throwing that around, I understand more so why these kids make the decisions they do, right? Like that's just, you know. All right, so let's go. Let's keep moving here, man. Now that we just talked about that, LSU, Wisconsin's on right now. Kind of a sleeper game. Don't really care about it,
I
especially
mean,
since Jay.
well, isn't exactly what we're talking about? The guy that won the Heisman,
Yeah, he opted out
he
today.
opted out.
Yeah,
So is anybody going to want to watch this game with backups playing? It's like watching arena football,
I'm done with it.
right?
I'm not
Well,
watching.
it's
Yeah,
well, it's like watching arena football,
right.
right? What are they playing for? We're all waiting for, tonight at 5:30, where Washington takes on Texas, and then Alabama is going to take on Michigan. I mean, those are the only games that matter, and what's changed from today versus in 1991 where we won this.
Right.
Money has, right?
Yeah.
That's the one thing that's changed. There's an NIL deals now. There's the transfer portals. You didn't have those opportunities. You knew who the players were. Same thing happened in college basketball, Dan. When you start looking at the one and dones, how did that change the landscape of college basketball?
completely
It's the
did.
same thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know who my team is anymore because we're going to have 5 new freshmen coming in and playing next year. I don't have the opportunity to say, I'm going to brag about my team in the offseason because we got 5 guys coming back, Fab Five, UNLV, Duke, back in the days
Yeah.
when college basketball was great. I don't watch college basketball much anymore because I don't know who these high school kids are, and they're going to be gone next year in the NBA,
Yep.
right? And so, it's hard for me to create that or generate that excitement or enthusiasm where I have the ability to, boast a little bit about my team. We're still Duke. You're still North Carolina. We're still the Blue Bloods, but
It's a little different.
it's,
You're
it's,
right.
it's a
way
lot different. It's
Yeah.
not a little different. It's a lot different. Unless you got, a kid that's coming back like you guys do at North Carolina, Baycott. The reason he's coming back is because he wasn't going to make it in the NBA.
No, and he's getting $2 million to $3 million.
That's right. So it makes it easier. He's
Yeah.
going to make more money in the NIL deals
Yep.
at North Carolina than he will in the NBA. So it's financially a better decision for him.
Absolutely. If he was a first round pick, he'd be gone.
He'd be gone.
Yeah.
He's not. He's maybe second round, maybe going to
No,
Europe,
he's not
somewhere like that, and he's making $2 million right now. He's not going to make that in Europe. So, he's taking advantage and maximizing his opportunity to stay in college for 4 years. Do we want to watch mediocrity
No.
for 4 years? Because that's what kind of player he is, a mediocre player, right? Same thing goes on in college football, it's the same type of thing that exists, is that there's really the competition. There's not the ability for guys to say, you know what, I didn't earn my spot, but next year I'm going to be better. I didn't earn my spot, so I'm going to go find somebody that values me,
Yep.
and I can just step in and play.
Yep, that's exactly right. And then earn a brand and make more NIL money and create a better opportunity for yourself for the future.
It's terrible for the system of college football, for amateur sports. It's terrible for any system. I mean, imagine. I mean, we maybe do it in real life. I'm not happy with my job here, so I'm going to go somewhere else. We have the opportunity and ability to do that, but in sports, when competition and there's a lot of different things in sports that you look for to root for, I think it just changes the dynamic just slightly.
Yeah. No, well, look, I couldn't agree more. As a fan, I don't like it. As a human person and a businessman, I fully support it. If these guys can go make money and create a legacy for their family, and put themselves on a better track for what is to come in their careers, go for it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just a fan. Like I'm. That's all any of us are. It's all we all have. Is we all have opinions. These guys, this is their lives, and who are we to cause judgment over somebody's life for making a decision to say I'm going to go make more money, put myself in a better position to make more and more money, have a recognizable brand that can carry me through my life. I mean, I completely get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hate it for football. Like as a fan, I don't like it. I hate not seeing Jaden McDaniel, the Heisman Trophy winner, play because right now Wisconsin's up on LSU 14-0.
Yeah, and that would never happen.
No.
And I mean that's the power of a player of that magnitude at that position with the impact he's going to have for his team, because not only are you taking away your queen of your chess game.
That's right.
Right? You're also setting an example for everybody else to say, this isn't important to me.
That's right.
And unless you're a freshman trying to earn a spot or a younger player trying to move up the food chain a little bit, your effort is not going to be the same. Or your experience, your level of competitiveness, your strength, all the things that apply to athleticism when you're talking about a football game. So, and the continuity that exists or lack of. The receivers have zero continuity with a backup receiver or backup quarterback, that when they run a route, they have to be wide flipping open, or
That's
else
right.
the ball's not. There's no, okay, he was playing you a little inside, so let me read the defense and then throw it to the outside, and where I'm going to throw it, because we're seeing the same thing, because we've had hours and hours of preparation in order to hit that route.
Yep.
On timing, in space, and those types of issues. So that's a huge deal for anybody, let alone LSU. And I think that's the one thing that why I felt like Florida State really had no chance, to be in the Final Four, and they weren't even a top 10 team without their starting quarterback, because you've taken away the chess piece against teams that are really good, and those teams in slots ahead of you. The person that should really be upset in the entire situation when it comes to this Final Four is Georgia.
Georgia, absolutely.
Georgia should be more
Yes.
upset than Florida
Absolutely.
State. Georgia lost, to my opinion, the best team in college football, which is Alabama, because they have, I know you're Roll Tide, but I've said this all along. Alabama, from top to bottom, is as buttoned up as any college football team. The one question that they had was Milrose, when,
Yep.
if he could understand what type of football player he was going to be a game changer, because now he's opened up the playbook, and defenses have to be worried about his ability to run the football. It opens up windows for him to throw the ball. When he lost to Texas early in the season, he tried to be Peyton Manning or Tom Brady.
That's right.
And thinking that the college or the pro scouts are going to say, if I can't throw the ball from the pocket, then I'm not going to be a pro quarterback. That's everybody's aspiration going into college sports and to these big programs in particular. They want to get those paydays and play on Sundays and in front of millions and be the best of the best. But sometimes you have to understand, in order to be the best of the best, you have to utilize what God gave you.
Yep.
And use that and maximize that to your fullest potential. And that's where a guy like Jalen Milrose is going to come out and say, now I'm playing like God planned me to play, and this team has understood how I need to play, and now we're going to have synergy in order to go out there and beat the best teams in the country, because they are the best team in the country. Whether they win today or not, they are the best team in the country.
And look, let's circle back on this. And look, Frank, you hit on some really, really hard points here. But I want to circle back to what started it. I'm going to tell you the thing that's going to change. If there's anything that will change the trajectory of people laying out, and sitting out bowl games and all that stuff, there will be one thing that will change it. Viewership will go down. Interest in the bowl games will go down, and it affects the overall money. And once the money's affected and the sponsorship goes away and the TV's not paying the conferences to participate, then there will be a difference. When the money gets involved, when the main money gets involved.
I agree with you on what your concept is, but we're sitting here on a Monday morning on New Year's Day. What else are we going to watch? Price is Right? We're gonna watch Oprah. We're gonna watch The View.
It's the bowl games. It's the bowl games leading up to it.
Are we gonna watch? Okay, I mean, but those have never really had the interest, and those are the second tier teams.
Not fair.
Right?
That's
When
fair.
you're talking about brand name teams, right? You're talking about Wisconsin. You're talking about LSU. You're talking about Ohio State. Ohio State, laid an egg the other night. That's not Ohio State that we saw. I mean, they're
Their
better.
quarterback left.
Well, I understand.
That's crazy.
And but you're still going to support, because in college football, different than the NFL, maybe not different, but there's a tradition that existed. With Alabama, there's a tradition that follows them. I'm going to support Alabama through thick and thin. Ohio State, because I have ties to that program. I went to school there. Those type of things. Where in pro sports is that if you don't live in the city, you're really not going to follow them, and there might be bigger financial impact. But in college sports, you look at the top 10 teams, top 15, 20 programs, you're going to have some loyalty that exists. Tennessee has sucked for how many years? Guess what?
Man.
You go to a Tennessee game, there's still 90,000 people there.
And
right? And following around that burnt
screaming
orange
the
everywhere they go, to whatever stadium. You see Tennessee jerseys around everywhere.
That's right.
So, those are that's beautiful. That's a beautiful bottle. Those things are going to continue to exist. So I'm not sure if the value of the market is going to decrease in college sports because of the tradition and the ties personally that a lot of people have to those programs.
You're absolutely right, and I rescind my not rescind it, but you make a very valid counterpoint. All right, so look, before we get in the playoff game, there's one more game I want to cover, want to talk about. My big pick, if you're betting today.
Oh, we got our Gamblers Corner going on.
Gamblers
right now?
Corner, yeah. That's
let me know, because I've had a little bit. I started off on fire, bro.
I remember.
I started off in fuego. I won like 14 out of 16 games to start the season, and I cashed out really good and had a nice Christmas because of it, right? But over the last 2 or 3 weeks, it's just like I have the kiss of death hit me in the face. Right?
You got the QCB,
dude. I had the game the other night where I took Detroit against the Cowboys, and I took the money line, head up to win, and the 2-point conversion.
That was so stupid.
If you ever want to think that the NFL is rigged, because I have a lot of people asking me that on a daily basis.
I'm sure.
That is not going to help their argument. I don't know, and I've been that guy. I've been the guy that reports.
Yeah.
I've come in and reported. I know exactly what that looks like. I know exactly what Goff said to 68 to go to the referee. He did exactly what he's supposed to do. He came out there, he touched his numbers, he rubbed them down and said reporting. That referee looked him dead in the eye and walked away. And then called the penalty on top of that. I don't know what else. And 68 won't say this because he's afraid to get fined, right? The NFL has put the hand on their heads to hush people and say, if you say something about the integrity of this sport, you are now challenging and compromising these referees and the value and integrity of the NFL. Therefore, we are going to fine you hundreds of thousands of dollars. That guy can't afford hundreds of thousands of dollars. Why has he not been interviewed? Why has he not said, other than I did what I was supposed to, and I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to get fined.
He's scared of the shield.
He's scared of the man behind the curtain, Oz, pulling it back and exposing what's happening. And I've never thought this about the NFL, but that was blatant. That referee should be suspended.
Agreed. And
that referee should be investigated for collusion, for gambling, for all those things. Because there's no way that referee didn't look that guy in his face and then call the penalty on him after deliberating, for 5 minutes with the other referees. That was an atrocious call for the line. And the reality of it is, Dan, is that nobody cares about the Lions, and the shield protects the Cowboys.
That's exactly.
And that's Vegas. That's so. When all those things start circulating, and you put my, what do you call it, the tinfoil hat on my head if you want, right? I don't care. But those are the things that start, people from wondering what's going on. It's like the NBA with the lottery. Be transparent.
Yeah.
Be transparent, and then there's no questioning or challenging whether there's a fix or not.
That's right.
Right? You're not going to cater to the big market teams and let these little guys kind of fall away into the wayside. Same thing is going to start happening with the NFL if those things continue to exist. And I can't disprove any of them after what I just saw on that. That was the most egregious call.
Well, you said
shape of a way that
you said it right though. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the Lions. Nobody cares about the Lions.
that's right.
I mean, congratulations, you're making the playoffs for the first time in a million years. Nobody cares.
No, I mean Vegas does. I mean, and they covered Vegas. The Lions covered their 4.5, but they didn't lose. So that's where the opportunity exists for people to start thinking that the fix is in pro sports and in sports in general.
I mean, it
was awful.
We could do a whole segment on that because there's things have been proven. Where,
So who do you got today?
All right, thank you. All right,
I went off sideways on a tangent.
It's okay. Anybody that knows you do that, so it's okay. We're all accepting. We're all accepting of Mr. Frank Garcia. And I might be eating my words here because Liberty's driving the ball down. But I thought that today the big bet, the best bet, the one I put a lot of money on this.
You thought your lock of the year,
It's not like
of the
it
century.
is. Yeah, I when you walked down, I said I put stupid money on this game today. I'm that confident. Oregon. I thought Oregon, or it's just the opening drive. Oregon is going to beat the wheels off of Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
They have nobody sitting out. Bo Nix is playing.
Mm-hmm.
Bo Nix, what was he, second or third in Heisman voting?
So I think he's second,
Second.
maybe third.
I mean, the guy's a scoring machine. He does everything on the offensive side of the ball. And they got a great defense. They've got a great program.
I don't know about great, but they're really good. Yeah.
Fair. They lost to
Washington twice.
There you go.
And they had a lot of go ahead, keep barking.
Yeah,
keep barking.
No, but it's Liberty. They're playing Liberty.
Listen, Michigan playing App State. It's App State, right?
That's a lot
no, on me.
That was an opening game. It's a lot different.
That was a really good football team at App State.
That was.
Michigan was a top 10 program in the country.
They were number 5.
Okay, they were a top 10 program in the country. You can say top 5 if you want.
Yeah,
give them more credit.
Yeah.
Right? App State had an undefeated season. Armani Edwards was the difference maker. The spread has changed college football, right? And when teams are not motivated, right, and they're worried more about all the bowl gifts and the parties and the pageantry that goes along with that versus going out there and focusing on a football game, Liberty has something to prove. Liberty is playing like they have something to prove. Now,
They scored.
I'm not saying that Liberty is going to win this game.
Well, they're not going to get dog walked.
I don't think they're going to get dog walked. And that is giving them a lot of confidence right now to be an App State versus Michigan. Back in 2000, whatever 2-3, whatever year that was when they won it.
Well,
my man just turned a shade of white over here.
I'm starting to match my shirt.
Live betting still exists there.
It does.
Live betting still comes.
Don't worry. I'm gonna be going after
the
that.
Live betting is still available.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, I'm good. My credit line's gonna get capped in the. All right. Then the other game before the playoff is Tennessee and Iowa. Milton sitting out.
Yeah.
What else you guys
I don't even know. I mean,
who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, and that's the problem with bowl. But there's nothing else on. So what are we going to do? We're sitting, we're drinking, we're having a good time. It's the New Year's. There's nothing much going on. Iowa's playing. Do I really want to watch? No. So I'm gonna scroll on my phone, play a little poker, watch some other things. Look at Instagram, look at Facebook, watch our podcast. There's a lot of things that I'm going to do, and then I'm going to kind of pay attention to the game because it's on. It's like watching a baseball game. I'm not really interested until it gets to like the 7th inning and the score's close, or an NBA game in the last couple of minutes of.
Unless you're live betting every single week, which I do.
And that's what's changed.
Yeah.
That's what's changed. Sports in general was the ability to live bet, right?
Oh God, yes.
That's the reason why we're talking about it. That's the only reason why we're talking about it.
Exactly
I don't know. And it's so hard to predict and judge, what is going to take place. And Vegas truly is the only people that know the impact and value that a player has for that team, and they're going to win a lot of times, as we just talked about with Dallas and Detroit.
Oh yeah. Hey, well, I do have one reason to watch this game, and I'm a especially an SEC enthusiast. I think that a lot of people know that after listening to us a lot. And anybody that's known me through my life knows that I'm a diehard Alabama fan, and therefore very vested in the SEC. The Tennessee's quarterback is getting his first start. This kid Nico Milalonga something. He's a 6'6" cat, and I think this is the dude that like Josh Heupel has been wanting for this offense.
Okay.
You know, like he's been there for two. He's been in Tennessee for 2 years now. He's had two different quarterbacks. He had the guy who transferred from Virginia Tech the year before, the Milton this year. And this offense got a little stagnant because Milton can't make the fast throws, and he's not as quick out of the pocket that like Heupel wants.
He doesn't have the quick release and the West Coast arm. He's more of a long throwing guy, throwing the ball deep, and they're going to take the top off, and that's the way they're going to score.
That's right. So this guy that they've got in now is tailor-made for his offense. So I'm very interested to see how he plays against an Iowa defense. If they score points, I mean, as a freshman, I'm giving.
What do you know about Iowa?
That they play a lot of defense and can't score.
Okay, that's the Big 12 or Big 10 in general.
Yeah,
that's the Big 10 in general.
That's why. Yeah.
I mean, they play a different style of football, Dan. I mean, they have to. It's the same with Wisconsin. They're going to ugly the game up because they're playing in cold weather 90% of the time, windy, cold, rainy, snowy type of thing. So if you're not built on defense and you're built on offense, you're going to struggle winning games in bad conditions because it's the weather's too unpredictable. So Iowa's going to be built well on defense, but how do they match up against the SEC speed, right? How do they match up against those frisbee catching dogs that go out there and throw it up and go get it, and mosh you, left and right. So
hey, I'm just trying to give viewers a reason to watch the Tennessee game because there's no other reason to.
I mean, the only reason you're watching is if you went to Iowa or if you're a Vols fan.
Yeah.
Right. I mean.
Yeah.
But the help that we could provide is understanding the value of the dollar, right, and how that's going to affect your pocketbooks in 2024.
That's right.
Right. So that may be something we look into as we move this podcast forward, is helping you learn how to earn a dollar on the Smothered and Covered Sports Show.
Hey, there are some there, and there we are going to definitely be homing in on that because sponsorship opportunities are a big thing, and I can tell you now, we had some personal things happen that halted us this year.
That's life, brother.
That is. And just I'm going to take a brief pause just to say I've had a lot of friends and family reach out about my mother's cancer, and thank you for everybody and all the positive prayers. We definitely caused us to take a step back. But I can tell you that when I told my mother that, she was like, "Get off your absolute ASS, get back to recording, go hang out with Frank and do what you love."
That's why I love your mom.
Yeah, she's awesome. I mean, for real. She's like, "Don't feel sorry for me. Make me proud. Go do and be you. Go work. Go run a company. Go
carry
work."
my spirit on.
That's it, man.
Son.
Hey, carry on my wayward son.
Yeah.
So anyway, just thank you to everybody that had something to say about that. Opportunities are going to come out. We've got a website and being built right now. And again, we're going to do a lot more live remotes like this. I think it's more important when we do it in person.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun doing this with you, and we appreciate anybody that's listened today and all of our sponsors that we have out there.
Hey, Stroll Magazine asked us to host their next event.
I would love to.
Isn't that cool?
You know what, Dan? I miss this so much. I had a radio show for about 18 years here in Charlotte, and I miss just having friends that I could talk with, people that would listen. I have a lot to say, and sometimes I don't maybe express my feelings the way that need to be expressed, but I promise you, Dan and myself, we have the best intentions for everybody listening. We just like we like the chatter, we like the talk, we like the the bar room banter, those type of things. We miss the locker room, and this is an opportunity.
I miss the barracks.
Yeah, you miss the barracks. This is an opportunity for us to kind of connect with people and just go through everyday life.
Yeah. And our off-season stuff that's not football related, we're going to get more into some life stuff and just the challenges of being men. And
we don't know where this is going.
No.
You know what? We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We want to have impact on good people.
Absolutely.
On men, women, give perspective, those type of things.
But
we're really, I think you're a really caring person. You have a great heart, and I know I try to. I don't always share it the proper way, but I love
You
people.
are, man.
I love
Absolutely
people. I
you
love
are.
kids. I love
Yes.
family. I love God, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Hey, the only reason I'm doing this with Frank is because I believe in the person he is. It's just get
Okay,
that out of the
we're
way
getting
now.
we're getting
Yeah, we
really
got sideways,
sentimental
but
here.
yeah. But it's a new year, so
It's a new
it's
year.
important to celebrate each
Yeah,
other.
that's right.
We went through some personal challenges last year, and
We are going to have some in 2024
absolutely,
as well.
but we're going to go through it together this
And you know
time.
what we're going to do? We're going to take every day by day, right? We're going to take one step at a time. We're going to learn. We're going to be better each and every day.
Yep.
What have I done today to get better for tomorrow? Take one thing you can learn from today and get better for tomorrow. If I could give you any advice for 2024, that would be it right there. Take and grow each and every day. We're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes. I make a lot of them, but we're going to learn from them and, you know, pray to a higher power.
That's
That's it.
100%.
That's all we can really, say. And
Yeah.
it's going to be a great 2024. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, that's a little emotional for me. Dang. All right, so man, main reason we're here today, the playoffs.
The playoffs.
And I look, it's kind of it's unfortunate for you because I'm the MC of the show and I get to host and create order.
It's not unfortunate. You do a great job.
Well, thank you.
And you're getting better day by day.
but my bias is about to rule here in what
And
order
you know
we
what?
talk about these
Pump
games.
pump. Today is the day to pump your chest.
I will.
We have two teams playing in the
Show 'em the
semifinals
ring again.
for a national
Wow.
championship. Well, let me get the right camera.
Oh
There we go.
my God. Yeah.
We're playing for a national championship, right? A national championship, the best team in college football. Alabama's won multiple. Washington's won one. Texas has won several. Michigan has won several, right? There's a lot of programs, and this is kind of a clash of the Titans.
It is.
It really has been.
It's a
You
great
get
way to.
one,
It's a
two,
great year
three-
way to end the 4-year
Yeah,
format.
I mean,
14 format.
I think that there could have been another team in the mix, and I think that's about it. I don't think Florida State was healthy. I think they're one of those teams. Unfortunately, the caveat is they weren't healthy, so therefore they got disqualified. Georgia, absolutely, in my opinion, is
Cool.
one of two. They might be the best team. Honestly, they might be the best.
I mean,
Alabama beat them. It matters when you do. It matters when you have an opportunity to, and championships matter. All the things that are counted into this: tradition, history, viewership. You can count all the numbers of things that contribute to why these four teams are where they're at.
Frank, it's 1 and 1A, man.
Yeah, it really
It
is.
really is. It's 1 and 1A.
I so heartily believe that, Dan. I think Alabama's the best team with Milrose playing the way he's playing right now,
Yeah.
and I think Georgia is 1B.
Right there.
And then
yeah.
and then I would have to say Michigan would be the next best team.
Yeah.
And then I think Washington and Texas are about the same. I really do.
I honestly think Washington's a better team than Texas. I think Washington's going to win today, and I'll tell you why. We've been talking about this team.
Right.
We've been talking about this team since day one. Right? When we started doing Smothered and Covered Sports, we were talking about Washington's quarterback and how this guy just naturally wins games. He is. There's nothing like, you don't watch him and like, oh my God, he's so amazing. He just wins. I mean, the guy he delivered over and over, and everybody thought the second time that Oregon played them, everybody thought on a mutual site that Oregon was going to beat Washington, and that kid continued to be the leader that he is. He is amazing.
Here's what Washington has in their favor. A lot of people watch Texas. A lot of people watch Michigan. A lot of people watch Alabama. They watch Georgia. They watch the top tier teams on the East Coast. That's where most of the viewership in the country comes from.
Yep.
The hard part of Washington is watching their games because they're played so late at night at times. That being said, they have the Liberty effect on their side. And what I mean by that is Liberty is playing, who are they playing? They're playing, who's Liberty playing?
Oregon.
Oregon. Liberty's playing Oregon, right? And
Y'all's son.
yeah, they are our little stepchild this year. But when you look at what Liberty is going to bring, they're going to bring that chip on their shoulder that Washington has had all season. Washington hasn't been given a chance since day one. they're good, but they're not great. Oregon's going to beat them. They were underdogs by
Yep.
this. Oregon State's going to beat them.
That's right.
All these teams have challenged to step up and challenge them, and they've answered every round. They've come out and they've won the round, and that's what it is. So I don't know how they're going to win. I know there's a lot of confidence, but when you're playing 4 undefeated teams or 3 undefeated teams, and then Alabama, you have a lot of confidence and belief in what you're capable of doing, and it's going to come down to, there's 3 aspects in every game: offense, defense, special teams. Who makes the mistakes? I can say this, as a coach that's won championships, as a player that's won championships, as a player that's lost championships, the teams that step up and have the ability to slow the game down because there's a different level of competition. The game happens faster. It's like playoffs in the NFL. Things start speeding up. Everything starts happening faster. The teams that have the ability, the players that have the ability to slow things down in those pressure situations are the teams that eventually come through. And when the hype and the heart wears off, you become more of who you are. And that's the reason why I think Alabama is the best team, and I think followed by Georgia.
Well, as a preview to the game today, I think you just hit on why Penix. Like if you're the big X factor in these two teams, if you're gonna, for me, highlight which team gonna win, it really comes down to: do you want Penix or Ewers?
It's called the it factor.
It is, and Penix has it.
That's the it factor.
Penix just knows
when he's needed, when he's had to deliver, he's delivered.
Yes.
Right? And
yes.
You can't teach that, Dan.
Nope.
Who do you want up on bases loaded with 2 outs, the pitcher or the hitter? They're both badasses.
Yeah.
Who's going to win that battle?
I love it.
Right?
Yes.
And that's what it comes down to. You have a Hall of Fame pitcher and a Hall of Fame batter. Who's going to deliver in that moment?
That's right.
Right? And I don't know if it's fate. I don't know if it's destiny. I don't know what it is, but that's kind of what you have in these 4 matchups. You have 4 dogs fighting that are fighting for everything, that are beasts. They've been through the battles. They're battle tested. Mm-hmm. And who's going to step up and who's going to find a way to get it done in the biggest moment.
So talk to me about today's the Washington Texas game.
I like Washington in a close one. I think it's going to be a high scoring game, 35-32, very similar to the first game. I do believe that Washington has been battle tested, as Texas has as well. It's just going to come down to who makes the biggest plays. Who wins up front? I think offensive line, Washington has a slight advantage. Defensive line, Texas is huge.
Yes.
They're big up front.
They are.
And
Sark's done a good job with it.
Which quarterback is going to make the fewest mistakes? Which coach is going to prepare his team the best? And those are the X factors that we don't know, right?
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen them in those positions or situations long enough. Sark, believe it, we used to call him 7-win Sark.
I know.
When he was at Washington.
When he was at Washington, that's right.
There's a lot of history and tradition that goes along with that.
He was a drunk when he was y'all's coach.
Well, I'm not going to call him that. He liked to have
I'll
take a drink. I'll take a drink.
He didn't turn him down. I know that.
I'll take a drink. Are you going to call me a drunk for taking a drink?
Hey,
I'm not sure, but it's the New Year's. I'll take a drink.
Yeah.
But
we're drinking Henry McKinnon in case you guys are wondering.
So it's but there has to be a time and place, right? And he was young, he was immature, but you grow and you learn. And
he had to go to the Nick Saban rehab program.
Well, he's done something right.
Yeah, damn right.
You got to give him credit for that.
Oh
right?
man, yeah.
7-win Sark has turned into an undefeated season with an opportunity to play a Washington team where she coached that for 4, 5, 6 years, and has a chance to answer some.
He does,
questions.
man.
Yeah. You never thought about that. You didn't think about that.
I forgot about that ripple.
I know.
I did.
I know.
I did. And look, again, as an Alabama fan,
All you're thinking about right now is how is Alabama going to find a way to beat Michigan's favored by a point and a half, two.
That line hadn't moved.
To me, that's a lock. That's a
lock.
Oh
God, yes. Oh yeah.
Why are you worried about this Oregon game when you can have a game?
Hey, we're not getting into how much money I put on Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I bet the farm.
The farm?
Yeah. I took the over because the over is 44. We're going to score 30.
You bet the Prius on Oregon. You bet the Cadillac on
You're damn right.
on Alabama.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We're not going to for public consumption. We shouldn't talk about it too much.
Luckily,
I don't think my wife listens to this, but
I'm taking Alabama.
Yeah.
I'm taking Alabama. And I'm taking Washington. And I think, unfortunately for my Huskies, Alabama is. I've said it since day one.
Well, let me.
And you have felt like I've been challenging Alabama. I was challenging Jalen Milroe.
You wouldn't say his name right.
I couldn't say his name. I didn't even know his name.
He said Millsap, Mill Young.
I was intentionally.
Yeah.
You have to earn that,
I
right?
agree.
When you've been there, done that, you have to earn the right for other players to know your name.
Yeah.
He's earned that right. He's had a heck of a season. I'm going to give this kid,
Man.
People think, like, even with Cam Newton, Dan, people thought when I talked about Cam Newton that I was bashing him. No, I wasn't. Cam Newton is a freak of an athlete, right?
Oh, God. Yes.
But I don't care who you are coming in, right? You have to earn the respect of the veterans.
Yes.
Even if I'm a veteran that
100%.
hasn't done much. I'm not the Heisman Trophy candidate. I'm not this. I'm not that. Right? But I've earned my stripes.
That's
and
right.
you know exactly what that feels like
yes.
when you're a rookie coming in to camp. You might end up being a general.
Hey.
Right? But you have to start at the beginning.
Hey, when I got listen to this. Now, this when I got to Fort Bragg, I thought I was the baddest dude on the planet. I was a private PFC. I got promoted
Coming in.
I thought I was the baddest dude in the world.
You better.
Or
you're not going to make it very long.
That's right. So I was that guy who ran everywhere, did everything. Blah, blah, blah. Man, I didn't give the respect to my E5s and E6s that I should. Them cats didn't like me.
Mm-hmm.
Made my life hell.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
Hell.
Yeah. So
I mean, bro,
that was when hazing was legal.
I had to clean the platoon office every day for 3 months because I had the idiocy. I was a moron.
Did you have to use a toothbrush to clean the toilets?
No, but I was the only guy that had to do it. I had to go in, sweep, mop.
Did they call you Private Pile?
No, they called me Lieutenant Dan.
Even worse.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But the funny is, the new nickname for Alabama fans. Have you heard this?
No.
We're called Gumps.
Oh yeah. I've heard that.
That's so great.
Yeah.
I actually proudly. I'm going to order a Forrest Gump Alabama jersey.
Yeah.
I think that's a necessity.
A Lieutenant Dan?
Yeah.
You should get a Lieutenant Dan jersey.
No, that would be if they make one.
You can make one. You make your own jersey. Just go up to the website. There you go.
I'm doing it. What number should it be?
I would say. Did you have? What number are you in? Did you have any type of number that you're affiliated with?
Well, in high school, when I played football in high school, I wore 56.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Reverse of 65.
Yeah. Hey, how about that? I didn't think about that either.
56.
But I always wore 30, so I played basketball.
Is there any significant number that Alabama has? What championship are they going for this year?
They're going for number 19.
So there you go. That's a good number.
Yeah.
Maybe you can put number 19.
After they win it, if they win
it, Lieutenant Dan
number 19. Yeah. I like that. Good call. Yeah. Good call.
Be careful. Don't hurt yourself.
I know, man. That daggum night.
Yeah. Oh. That championship ring.
So let me give my predictions of the day. All right. I love, man, that ring is so cool. I can't believe you don't like if I was.
That's real gold, by the way.
If I was Frank, let's just say this. If I was Frank, I would wear that thing every time I was hosting an event. Every time, I would do it. But Frank,
if they win it, I do. If they
you're a national champion, man.
I am.
You're hold on. Let's just stop and say that one more time. You just said it so humbly. I am, dude. You're a national champion football player. A national champion. I
was a part of a team, Dan.
I know, but man, I'm as
proud as my individual accolades as I am as my team.
You should be.
There's something different about winning a team championship. Whether it's high school, we won several at Charlotte Catholic. Was close to winning a world championship. I can't imagine that feeling of being the best in the world, but we were close, and I still think that we were the best in the world. With that 2001 Rams team, the greatest show on turf.
Oh man,
Yeah, I mean, I've played in some really, really big moments and some big games, and I've been a part. I've lived a full life, my friend.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes moments like these to kind of relive those because we get caught up in everyday life, and it's happened so long ago. That's not who I am. That's what I did, type of thing.
I will ask you to take that back. There's one thing that you are, and you have to own this. You are a champion. That's one thing it can never be taken away from you. You are a champion. The way you approach, look, guys.
That's my DNA. You're right about that.
You are a champion. And if you flash that ring to my friend Kai, hey, my old Army roommate Kai Vreedy. What's up, Texas's finest? I hope you're watching, still watching. Being a national championship winner, man. Even if you're part of a team that's amazing, when you are one, you understand the expectations of what it is to continually be one, and you have lived that out in everything you do. The friend that I have attacks every single thing. Frank, for you guys that don't know, Frank has drop foot, and drop foot's where basically his calf muscles are as big around now as my pinky finger. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that to be a dick; it's just true. And Frank will still hit a golf ball farther than most of you mother humpers watching.
I'm gonna find a way.
And the guy is still a 4, and playing golf, 56 years old, can still hit it a mile.
Am I a 4?
Oh, you're probably. It depends.
I'm glad you said that.
It depends on.
For all of our golf buddies listening, I'm definitely a 4.
Yeah. I think it depends on how much money's on the line.
That's right.
We did a segment once, and I swear to you guys, it's the craziest thing. Frank and I are playing, and it's a 50-foot putt that if he missed it, everything washes. If he makes it, he made like $350.
And what did I tell you?
He looked at me and
Take
said,
this out of the hole.
Yeah, before he hit it on 18.
Yeah,
that was so great. The pink back of the cup, and he just looked at me and said, "Mm-hmm," and kept walking.
It's supposed to happen that way.
It is. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. You are a champion. So don't say was or whatever. Like, I think once you've been and understand the mentality behind it. I mean, I told you.
Sometimes we all need to hear that.
Yeah.
Sometimes we all need to be brought back to our inner self of what made us who we are and why we're successful.
That's
why
right.
We're still, whether it's a great day, whatever it is that you celebrate.
But for these kids at Charlotte Catholic that you're coaching, they need to understand how lucky they are to have you as a coach. Because I wish I had a coach like you as a high schooler.
You know what, Dan? I will say this about the kids that I coach. I'm hard on them. I love them. I treat them like my own. I'm fair. I try to be fair. I try to be honest. I try to tell them the truth. And I try to make them believe that they're bigger than they are. They're faster than they are. They're better than they are. They're smarter than they are. And they're the only ones. It's called the standard of excellence.
Yeah.
I try to get them to achieve and believe, the things that really, really, really help them in life. And life is so important into sports because it parallels it so similarly. We're going to fail. We're going to fall. We're going to get knocked down. We're going to hit our knees, right? We're going to ask why. But eventually you have to keep going, right? And it's finding a way, once you hit your knees, to get up, motivate yourself, figure out what the next step is, correct your errors, not repeat the same mistakes, and keep moving forward. And that's life in a nutshell. Having a bigger belief, a power. For me, it's God. And figuring out those things, and having good friends.
Yeah, man.
Having good friends that support you in those journeys.
Hey, our next recording, is going to be at Myrtle Beach on our golf trip this coming weekend.
Right.
We're gonna do another one of these.
I cannot wait for that. That's going to be a blast.
That's going to be a fun.
We're going to have some characters too.
Oh, we're going to get them all on here too.
We're going to have some really successful characters.
You guys are going to get a first-hand glimpse at Joe Moss, who is a damn handful.
You're going to have. We have
and Phil Miller.
We have a lot of personalities in our friend group. And
blessed to have them.
Yeah, we are very, very lucky to have people that hold us accountable, that we can have the ability to talk to as men, because not always do we have that outlet. So, this is an outlet for me, and this is an outlet for you.
Oh, yeah.
You're an outlet for me, and we have some good friends that are outlets for us.
All right, so back on focus. All right. Number one thing. We've had some fun today.
I could do this for a couple more hours.
I could too.
This is a lot of fun.
I could too. We need to put the game on the back and just catch our reactions to it. Next time, like man and cast it.
Yeah.
All right. So look, your prediction, straight up. You got Washington.
35-31.
35-31.
Alabama, 35-17 against Michigan.
All right. So look, I'm about to hit you with some street knowledge.
The facts,
The facts.
the analytics.
Well, I'm not. Yeah. All right. Washington, Texas. All right. I'm about to give you the full Dan Bailey analysis because I'm a junkie. You know, I will tell you this: Washington is the only team I've seen all year, other than Alabama, that has the it factor. I've watched almost all their games, except for the ones that aired at midnight or whatever. But every big game that they've been in, they've won. And Michael Penix, not one time, not once, has he looked shook. And there were some pressure cooking games where he had to lead a drive in the last 5 minutes to win.
That's true.
And not one time did you look at him and were like, "Oh man, he looks worried." No,
He had that. He has that look of.
Dude.
I don't want to compare him to this, but the same it factor that Brady has when he.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It's go time.
There's to me when I watch him play, there's never a doubt in his mind that they're going to win the game.
I love that about him.
And Ewers does not have that.
Um,
They lost this year to Oklahoma State. Did you remember?
Yeah,
you were saying earlier that
I thought they were undefeated. Yeah, you're right.
They
I
lost to
forgot about
Oklahoma State. And look,
You're
Ewers
right, they
is
did. They did.
if you're looking at talent, if you were to line up the talent wise, Texas has way more talent than Washington. You know, their recruiting classes show it. They're blah blah blah. They're flashier. They're bigger. But Washington is a team that knows how to win, and it starts with their quarterback. And that dude, I mean, as far as a college quarterback goes, I would take him over almost anybody else, other than my guy. And I'll tell you why in a minute. But
I'd take him over him. But go ahead.
I get it why you would.
Yeah.
I'm a homer. That's my homerness coming out.
And that's the reason why I like.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I like Knicks for Oregon as well. Same type of thing. But
Yeah,
anyways,
exactly.
I didn't want to steal your.
But I'm just saying when you guys watch the game today, I want you to watch what Michael Penix's face does. It doesn't change. The guy is laser focused the entire time. He can get hit. He'll get up, walk it off, point them, boom. And
There's a lot. Can I
Yeah,
make
please.
a comparison?
Please.
There's a lot of Steve Young in him. You know,
That's preaching right there.
I don't know
That is
if
preaching.
he has the athleticism
No, the
that
leadership,
Young had,
man.
but you know, being a lefty, I'm trying to think of the great lefties of our generation, the people we've watched. There's a lot of Steve Young with the accuracy, with the arm strength, and he doesn't have a cannon. He's not zipping the ball,
No.
there, but he has the touch. He has the timing. He has the leadership. There's a lot of Steve Young in Michael Penix. I like the kid a lot for all the reasons you just
Yes.
said. You can't teach those things. It's
No.
it's the armor that you've earned through time and pressure and learning how to lose, right? Those are the things that he bears
Yes.
when he goes out there, and he's not afraid. And I think that's the biggest thing. I used to be afraid to lose, Dan, and once you realize how to overcome that, you start playing a little bit freer. And that's the
Yeah.
way he plays.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to lose. I'm not afraid to make a mistake. I know that mistakes are a part of this, right?
Yeah.
I can't be afraid to fail. Failure is a part of success. It's a big part of it. It's a necessity of success.
Absolutely.
So once you learn how to overcome those things, that's where those types of players really start standing up. This is what Brady was so successful. That's why Manning has been so successful.
Yes.
They're not the
Joe
best.
Montana.
Joe Montana, Steve Young.
Yeah.
Guys like that. They're. This is not a knock on Cam. That's where Cam had to learn how to grow
Agreed.
because he was always the biggest, fastest, strongest. You have to learn how to fail in order to grow, right? And Cam didn't fail at much, if anything.
Well, you played with a guy who failed for a living.
Kurt Warner.
Yeah, failed for a living and then came back and dominated.
Well,
And then failed and then dominated.
yeah.
I mean,
There's a lot of people that have been at the top that I could tell that story about. That I've played against, things like that. And hell, I'm one of those guys. I'm the smallest guy. When you go look at the videos, I'm the smallest guy on the field in the offense.
look at our homepage. The picture of you on our homepage is
I had to have a dog in me, and I had to learn that I played like the Grinch. I'm going to find a way to let my heart grow, and I had to have confidence and believe that I was going to be bigger, faster, stronger than anybody I played against, and you're going to have to kill me to to beat me, type of thing. So, what are you reacting at?
Sorry, Bo Nix has hit a guy in the bread basket and he dropped
and he
it.
dropped it.
Oh,
You know what that's called? Lack of concentration, too much drinks, not focused.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that is.
Hey,
Speaking of,
so
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. So here's my prediction. I don't think it's going to be a close game. I think Washington beats them by 2 scores. I think Washington wins by
so nice.
2 scores, because I don't think that the Texas team has the maturity that the Washington team does, and they don't have Penix. Mike Penix is the biggest difference maker.
Here goes your Ducks. They're starting to hit,
the quack attacks getting ready.
well, they're starting to hit their rhythm a little bit.
Yeah, they thought they were just going to roll their helmets out of front.
Well, they did, and then they got hit in the mouth, and then
How do you like these uniforms, man?
they have. I mean,
I
that's
like that old school.
That's the old school uniforms right
Yeah,
there. That's
I like that.
That's 1993, 94.
Yeah.
Oregon Ducks right there.
I love it.
That's them in a nutshell. That's their throwbacks before they became who they were. With all the different flashy.
Phil Knight money.
Yeah, Phil Knight. Well, they've always had Phil Knight money, but they've never. They didn't realize the marketing that went behind that. And once they did, it was just they separated from everybody else.
Hey man, Oregon changed the game when it comes to uniforms. They really did. They were the first ones to have the multiple.
I mean, that's right. I mean, and you also have to give credit to Maryland as well with Under Armour. Under Armour.
Yeah.
But I do think that they stole Nike's. Nike's model.
Oregon was the first one to do
it. Oregon definitely was the first one to do it.
Yeah, that's all I'm getting. And the combos, like they were the first one to have a full season.
And I love this coach from Oregon too, by the way.
Oh yeah, he's a saving assistant.
Is he?
Oh yeah.
I don't know much about him, but I know that I like him, his demeanor, and especially after the way that they faced Colorado and did what they did to Colorado.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, Oregon.
Tepper needs to take notes though. He keeps on wanting to get an offensive minded guy. What's wrong with getting the defensive guys are the ones who win titles, man? What's up with that?
Well, there's a lot. It's a learning curve. I hope that he's had his success not based on luck. He's a smart guy. He's a lot smarter than we are. He's risky. You don't make billions of dollars not being that way.
True.
It's like a fly telling an elephant how to eat. His hay. I'm just a gnat on the elephant's ass. I see what the elephant ate, and I can tell you if it tastes good or not, but I don't know.
All right, my prediction, you said he wants to eat stuff off of an elephant's ass.
No, that's not what I said.
Oh, okay.
I do. Right. I do like it. Okay, finish.
Oh God!
Get your mind out of the gutter.
You're my. I'm turning 50 shades of red over here.
Yeah.
All right.
You are sweating.
I'm
making you a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I used to do that with all my partners on the radio. Too.
Oh, I'm sure.
I like to push the edge.
God, the edge has been pushed.
Well, here's the nice thing about where we're at right now. We can say whatever we want.
That's true.
It really doesn't matter.
That's true.
There's no FCA regulations.
No.
But I do still have kids that I try to adhere to.
Yes, and I have a church family.
Yes.
Right.
And yes.
Yeah. All right.
Moving forward.
So you and I agree on both of our picks, but I just want to give the listeners a preview. And I've been saying it all year long. You want to know the number one reason I think Alabama wins?
Why is that?
Nick Saban. Nick Saban.
I think that's the worst reason ever.
I don't care. He is the greatest coach of all time. He has done what he's done with his team as a whole through this year. The way they progressed is a reflection of great leadership and great coaching. Jalen Milroe and what he's turned into this year, that is a result of him being a great person. Jalen Milroe as a person is a phenomenal person, right? He has never. He came out and said Bill O'Brien told him he should never play quarterback. Bill O'Brien, his old offensive coordinator from last year, told Jalen Milroe you shouldn't play quarterback. And yet the kid still pushes forward. And Nick Saban, as a leader, saw that kid had zero quit in him, and invested in him despite a lot of naysayers saying like, "Oh, this guy's a running back playing quarterback," and blah 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 blah. They have found a way to pull it together and be a damn team. That is the thing about the university, this team that they have. They are a team. There's nobody on there that wants individual accolades. They don't care about that stuff. They just want to win as a team because they've been counted out since that Texas loss. Everybody's told them they're not worthy all year long. They sat at number 8 until they beat Georgia. Yeah. They were at number 8 until they beat Georgia, and they continue to win and win and win. And then, that's why this team has the it factor.
I'm learning how to pause and let you finish. I'm trying to anyways.
I pause when I pause.
Yeah, I'm trying to listen to what you're saying too a little bit better. But the only thing that stood out really in that is that, like, the one piece, these players want to achieve.
Oh, absolutely.
They love to perform, but it's not above and beyond what the standard is. And I think that's what Nick Saban has created. And I think that's what you're trying to.
That is what I'm trying to say. Yes, yeah, absolutely.
But they still want to show off. They still want to show.
Of course,
they want those things. But it's not more important than the standard that they have set, which is team.
That's right.
And winning. And I do give credit to Nick Saban for that, because I think that that's one of the things.
Oh, the quack attack.
That's one of the things that he is. Yeah.
The quack attack.
There's too much speed.
Oh, the quack attack.
There's too much speed.
Guys.
This is going to be.
It's going to be.
This is going to be its second quarter. I'm going to tell you
it's a boat race.
Second half, when because what happened with Liberty, second half, Oregon is going to take over and dominate the game.
Yep.
Right. Their speed.
And they're going to win by 18.
If you 18's Vegas.
I got $500 on it, buddy.
Listen, Vegas is pretty good. Vegas is pretty good. It's going to be really close to that 18. But I think right now you could probably get it for a lot less if you went to live bet, if you're believing on that 18, because they're going to score right here in this next drive.
Well, let me just say this: Vegas.
Bo Nick's going to keep this next. Well, I'm calling the play right now. They're going to keep fake dive. Bo Nick's going to walk in.
Let's see if he's right. Y'all mark this time: 1:48 p.m.
2-yard line.
Second and goal.
They may run it again right up the middle to see if they can dominate, show their dominance.
Frank
but
said
if they don't get it, this is the call I would make right here. I would make a call.
That dude look like Maurice Claret.
I would make a call where I'm keeping Bo Nix, run option pass. They're coming in
to the right side.
They're bringing in everybody.
Yeah, loading the right.
They're loading the right. I think they're running left. There you go.
Oh, you called it. Touchdown. Oh! Who's Tony Romo? I got Frank Garcia. Who cares about Tony Romo?
I don't study this, but I know calling, and I knew that's a thing.
Man.
Yeah, that's the right call.
Who needs Tony Romo, baby?
Wide open.
We got Frank Garcia. Yeah. This dude called it. Hey, y'all heard it. He called it before they even addressed the line.
Yeah, he's a run pass option right there. Fake the dive. Everybody bites. You get wide open. And that's why you bring him into tight